HCTV Sports is supported by the Hastings Public House. Memories made local.
First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Nicely done. Gets the pin.
Oh, was that beautiful? Onside kick, and it's recovered by Hastings.
And he's rung up for strike three.
Double alley. Touchdown Raiders.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. As I mentioned, HCTV joining us. On our right-hand side of the rink here will be the Hastings Raiders. On the left-hand side of the radio dial will be the Rochester-Mayo Spartans. As we mentioned in our pregame on the radio, we'll reiterate a little bit here for our viewers on cable TV and YouTube that are tuning in. Rochester-Mayo enters this game 0-2, but that being said, playing incredible opponents in Chanhassen and Minnetonka. Hastings has scrimmaged Rochester-Mayo, but that doesn't really lead to anything tied to it. You can't read too much into it, as we're sitting here looking at an incredibly important section game.
Yeah, and for those that are just tuning in on HCTV, we talked about it in the radio open. There's really 4 teams that are fighting for a spot in the top 3 of the section, we think. Lakeville South is going to be number 1. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rochester-Mayo, Lakeville North, Hastings, and Farmington that are going to be battling for those 2, 3, 4, and 5 spots. So those are going to be up for grabs, and that's why this game is really important tonight.
Critical game out of the start. We're going to take our last commercial break, step away for those of you tuning in on the radio before the anthem and puck drop. For those of you on HCTV, you'll hear your Raiders getting announced the national anthem, and we will join you back here shortly for this first puck drop for the start of the 2022-23 hockey season. Not as good as I want to be, but
Please rise and gentlemen, remove your hats for our national anthem.
All right, national anthem is in the books. Starting lineups have been announced. In goal for Hastings Raiders, number 30, senior Cody Niederkorn, probably the most experienced player on this team. 8-1-1 last year, 197 goals against average, 909 save percentage. We talked about this on the radio side in our pregame about how critical he's going to be with the Raiders graduating so much depth on the blue line. You mentioned Stoffel said they're going to live and die by it.
13 of their 13 players from last season's team have graduated, which was like 80% of their goals, I believe, or something like that.
125 of 142 goals walked across that field at Todd for graduation.
And so as a result, speaking to some coaches in the Hastings staff, they've mentioned that this is going to be a defensive-oriented team, and if they can keep Rochester-Mayo and everybody that they play into a low-scoring affair, that's going to be their bread and butter this year. If this becomes a 4-0, or not nothing, hopefully not 4-0, but a 4-2 or a 4-3 kind of game, it's not going to be what the Raiders want.
Correct. We line up again, reminder, on the right-hand side is the Raiders, on the left is the Spartans, and the face-off one, right back to the Raiders defense. Chipped ahead to Danny Milner, number 11. That goes deep in the corner. First shot of the game from that low right side. I believe that was Charlie Williams. Charlie Williams, I believe, was up there for that. You'll have to bear with me as I get used to numbers. I'm going to probably screw up a couple of times and refer to them by the girls' numbers because I broadcast their games. Raiders now, cross, big hit into the boards, and that one was for sure on Charlie Williams as he's ridden hard by two Spartans into their bench, but the puck goes deep onto the Spartan goaltender, and he'll hold for a face-off.
Yeah, we saw a physical JV game, especially in the third period when Rochester-Mayo was getting frustrated being down 4-1 in the third of that JV contest. Looks like it's getting physical early on here.
Face-off, second line now coming out, and by second I simply mean second one's on the ice. That one's mishandled by number 21, John Harris, and the puck goes down to the right of Niederkorn. Behind the net, giving chase, is Johnny Tieglin. Tieglin floats it ahead. Now it's chipped up. There's number 9. That is Mark Denoyer. He uses, this is where it's going to be tough too. Denoyer's 4 in practice, so I'm used to seeing that. For Denoyer, though, as that puck ricochets up into the rafters, I can look at the incredibly long locks of what we see. So Tieglin is number 4. In practice, he's not.
Well, and what's good for me now is having been here a whole year as of next week, I will I know that a lot of these guys from other sports now.
For sure.
So that's helpful
the Johnny
too.
Teagues and all that kind of stuff. Face off now to the left of Niederkorn, deep in the Raiders zone. Puck dropped back by Denoyer. Denoyer has it attempted to him, but that was a turnover. That flipped up. That was an errant pass by the defender on the backhand side, Charles Williams, and that was picked off by a Spartan. Back in the corner, Joey Iavino, senior, assistant captain, centering this line. Gives chase. Now they're going to change. Raiders flip it up, but doesn't get it deep, and the Spartans are able to turn back. And that's going to be an icing as a miscue there by the Spartans. They could have had a legit 3-on-1, potentially 2-on-0, depending on how quick they could have turned that around.
Yeah, that was a good early chance that Cody Niederkorn turned away, and that's what you want as a goaltender, if I'm not mistaken. You want an early chance, get that confidence up.
Yep, get hit by the puck, feel it, see it, start to settle in. Shanks centering this line out now. Face off to the right. Shanks has it. That just poked away. Now shot, blocked, unable to get it through is Connor Zagoda. And now coming the other way, one-on-one as a great defensive hustle by Sawyer Zaruba comes back and gets that, prevents that from being a breakaway at the 15-18 mark. Raiders and Spartans 0-0. First game of this 2022-2023 Raiders boys hockey season has incredible section implications as a battle ensues in that right corner. Now it chips up. Here comes Zagoda. Zagoda all alone, has 3 back checkers, so he pulls up shot. Unable to control that rebound very well is the netminder for, as I switch sheets of paper here, Rochester-Mayo Nick White. Nick White has played every second of the Spartans season so far, posting an 80 save percentage, which is definitely not what you're looking for as he goes back and unable to stop it. But again, we mentioned, yeah, you're facing Chanhassen and Minnetonka. That's going to hurt the sets a little bit. Charlie Williams now has it. Crosses the red line, handling it. Defender, ridden hard into the boards. This time he doesn't end up with a pile of Spartans next to him. And that puck goes left to right behind the net as the Spartans try to get out. 14, Blake Vanderhoff able to dump it, bring it right to left. And then Brody Larson gives chase. Spartans control it, throws it to the middle, unable to pick that off cleanly was number 11, Danny Milner. And now here come the Spartans on the way back. Missed big check. I wonder if they can pick that up on our audio, the big old slams like you just heard there. As in boys hockey, we're going to hear a little bit more thumping, that's for sure.
Big thump right there also.
Yep,
one
Milner
Raider falls to the ice.
Puck picked off by the Spartans as both teams kind of feel themselves out. Milner chips it ahead, but just a little too far for Vanderhoff. And there's Brody Larson, 16. Now coming back, Vanderhoff chips it ahead, trying to spring. Number 15, Joey Iovino came on for Milner. Driving the net as the Spartans, goes right to left. Now settles up in that left corner, throws it across. Wide open Spartan, number 14, back. Niederkorn just missed that shot. Luckily it was wide, and the only reason he missed it, I think, is because that was through a lot of traffic.
Well, curiously, they haven't put a shot on goal on the board for Mayo yet, so you got to wonder, though, if that's still helping Niederkorn's confidence to see pucks coming his way.
For sure, especially when they come his way and go away from at the end of it. Now Spartans set up at the Raiders blue. They dump it on the left-hand side, picked up by Williams. He throws it diagonal, and that was a little bit of mistiming with Denoyer there. Denoyer, the left wing, looking to lead, but I think he just got a little bit of a late jump on it, or Williams pulled the trigger early.
And when I want to clarify my confidence comment there, obviously we know how good Niederkorn is. I'm not saying anything other than that. What I was saying was, it's been a while since you've been in a competitive game.
For sure.
And you get that first shot on net and you stop it, that's got to feel good.
For sure. Goalies want to see pucks from the point nice and early, get nice clear lines of sight. That way they can feel the puck, get control of the game, and not start chasing the play. Now there's a turnover deep in the Raiders zone. They get control of it, send it to that left-hand side near the boards. Giving chase is Denoyer. Long golden locks flowing in the wind. He's got a shave, too. That's a struggle. I don't know what these boys are. That should have been offsides, but we're going to allow it as the Raiders are able to give it change. And here comes Denoyer. Have you seen all the bad facial hair? I don't understand. I guess I can't say anything. I was in the goatee generation, but there's a lot of wispy mustaches on this team. 2-on-2 come the Spartans. They cross the blue line, trying to go through, stepped up. Good play defensively, as that's number 19, Brody Carlson. Carlson defending on that at the point as well. Raiders switching to a little bit more of a man-to-man defense in situations, so you're going to see defenders all the way up at the point at times as they try to not do as much zone so that they can give more support where they need it. Carlson now flips it to the middle. That bounces over Zagoda's stick. Zagoda now to Denoyer. Mayo back in their zone as number 7. First time I get a chance to call his name after the faceoff, Austin Shanks. Now cross ice left to right. That's too far ahead for a Spartan. And the Raiders pick it up with Matt Sherry sliding it up to Zagoda. Zagoda bounce pass across to the backside for McNamara. McNamara blown up at the blue line. Woo! Welcome to boys hockey.
Yeah, it's back.
So
and he's going to feel that one tomorrow morning.
He is. I don't like to reintroduce this when it's a Spartan jersey hitting us, but the Perkins pancake of the game you're going to see potentially coming up here. Puck thrown out to that neutral zone. Great transition hockey here. McNamara cuts to the middle, and as he cuts the blue line, the Spartan makes him pay. That was number 20, Mason Lineback for the Spartans that lays the lumber.
Sounds like a linebacker.
It does. Oh, just a little bit too far of Milner. Grade A pass, and Milner just not quite long enough to get a piece of it as the goaltender for the Spartans, White, didn't see that coming. Now the Spartans come back. They cross the Raiders blue on the right-hand side. Raiders throwing some physicality in there. Milner now in the corner. Ties up. Puck is squirting out. There's Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff throws it to the middle, trying to get out of the zone. And that's just a little bit too far for Sherry to get. And the Spartans come back. Sherry's got to turn on his heels. Milner, though, stands up at the blue line, and that prevents a clean entry. So the Spartans are forced to dump. 10:52 left here in this first frame. Scoreless game. Poked away by the Raiders. That's Denoyer. He's going to give chase. It goes down past Eck. He thought it was going to be an icing, but that's because he didn't see who shot it originally. Now wheeling back. Here we see Iovino and Denoyer. They tumble into each other, but luckily no harm, no foul. And the puck is dumped into that deep right corner where Johnny Harris gives chase as the Spartans come back out. Iovino ties up. Defenders for the Raiders step out. That's going to be Sawyer Chumsland, I believe, or is that? Nope, that should be Eddie Piney. How is my eyesight going so far today, Trey?
I remember Piney wearing 6. So.
Yeah, there we go. I thought it was an 8. That's why I got confused. Now the puck played. That's going to make a couple of goalie coaches happy as a simple dump in now ends up forcing the Rochester-Mayo Spartans to go all the way back as Cody Niederkorn plays it up off the near boards. So that allows the Raiders to get out, but unable to generate anything. Now they come out of their zone. Shanks with number 10. That's, again, Roman McNamara. A little bit of neutral zone back and forth. Nobody wants possession, and then Zagota chips it in. McNamara is going to give chase, but Eck is going to cover it.
Yeah, the neutral zone tango there. Neither one really deciding what they wanted to do. Following the leader kind of thing?
Yeah, that's, to me, when I see that, when it's just back and forth, usually that's, early in the game, jitters, not feeling the speed really well, not sure how much time and space you have, so you force some passes or, you make some bad passes, you just haven't gotten a feel. Turns into ugly hockey. Luckily, we haven't seen too much of it. Face off now to the right-hand side. That puck goes deep as Brody Larson pushed it ahead, but the Spartans recover. Spartans now 2-on-2, 2 hard back checkers. That's Milner coming back with them. Centered, broken up by Brody Carlson. Now Brody Carlson coming out, 3-on-3 back. Carlson hits the Spartan blue, sends it across the Vandy. Shot! Great one-time shot by Vandy, and Eck was there as the Raiders get the first grade A chance for sure. Shot the other way. Niederkorn easily pads that to the right side. Milner now tries to chip it out, and instead it goes up into the rafters on that far side. We get lots of whistles from that. So the sloped barn on that far board.
And you can kind of hear the against that didn't come through the microphone, but you can kind of hear the doink of the puck hitting the wood ceiling here inside Hastings Civic Arena. New scoreboard for the arena this year.
I know.
Very nice.
So a little bit, not off color, but great joke, and he laughed about it. Long-time arena announcer here. He's been here forever. Walks in, gets the starting lineup, and Stoffel says, hey, you outlived another scoreboard in the Hastings Civic Arena. Raiders now back in the corner, applying pressure. Picked up, there's Iovino, back to the point. Iovino on the half wall, still trying to maintain possession. And the Spartans are able to slide out. Now they cross it, step through. Brody, that wasn't Brody Carlson, my correction there. Matt Sherry going for the puck, ends up having it slide through his feet. I'm going to have to work on the shots and goal guy because for sure.
I feel like they have more than one.
Yeah, they've had a couple more than one as Iovino picks it up deep, throws it ahead. That's on Harris's stick. Harris now regrouping, picks it up, starts to work his way up ice. Harris, the youngest of 3 brothers, but the younger brother of Jake Harris, who graduated last year, over 100 points in his career. So one of those players that contributed a lot over the last 3 years that the Raiders are going to have to replace. Great backhand pass. That's now on Zagota. Zagota dumps it in, and giving chase is Austin Shanks. Shanks in the corner, squirts it ahead. McNamara trying to get a piece of it, and it's back to Zagota in the corner. Now the Spartans on the left-hand side, chip it up. Far hash, throws it to the neutral zone, but the Raiders' Eddie Piney is there. Eddie Piney a big baseball player.
Committed to play baseball.
Correct. Now we have a 2-on-1, but a nice back check and great defensive play by Charlie Williams there. Puck flips up, held in at the line by the Spartans. Squirts in the middle. Zagota misses a check there as he went a little bit fishing with that stick, and now Piney puts a little bit of lumber on it, and Zagota chases a loose puck around the boards. Low to high, Spartans looking to walk in. Raiders got to make sure to take away. Oh, good deflection, and that finds the netting at the 7:15 mark. Raiders and Spartans, Rochester-Mayo, section opponents, tied 0-0 here.
Both teams kind of getting themselves figured out right now. I mean, Rochester-Mayo has played 2 insanely difficult opponents to start the year. Hastings hasn't played a game, and so kind of just getting a feel for it, it looks like right now. I mean, 7 combined shots on the board, so not a overly.
It's not a sprint. Put it that way.
Yeah,
Right
it's a
now,
marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, at this point, it's a little bit more of a feeling each other out. Heavyweight hitters. You're not seeing a lot of flying up and down the ice, with the exception of that great pass that ended up finding Vanderhoff on the backside. Now the Raiders, Milner tries to find Vanderhoff again, but that runs into trouble. Brody Larson, Vanderhoff, both giving chase. Oh, stretch pass, finds a streaking Spartan, and Milner with a great back check, and that allows Niederkorn to stay out. Not as much as I would like, but to stay out.
That was the first real chance that Rochester-Mayo's had tonight, and Cody Niederkorn up to the challenge, and that's what you want. You want your experienced goaltender to be able to stop those, and that's exactly what he did. The Rochester-Mayo Spartan had a beat on the 2 Raiders and got in there, and Niederkorn said nope.
Great job by the captain, Danny Milner, number 11, to come back and pressure it. He now has the puck exiting the zone. Crosses the red. He throws it to Larson, but that doesn't quite get there. Now going back the other way, across, left to right. Here come the Spartans. They're held up. Now Vanderhoff rings it right to left to Milner. Milner on that near wall. Sidestep a check. He's coming across. We're going to get a little bit of a line change here. As now there comes number 4, Johnny Tieglin, the D pinching up. Love to see that, being aggressive. And the Spartans, though, come back the other way after a turnover. Shot, one-timer, save. Great lateral pass by the Spartans, and Niederkorn again slides across, gets some rubber off of that so it doesn't get into the pipe. Chipped ahead. Milner still out there. Pretty long shift for him. Iavino said, nope, that's still Iavino. Weird change. Here comes Joey Iavino. One-on-one. Comes in, tries the spinorama. Unable to, but pass it across. Great shot to Neuer. Puck is loose. Rebound. 21 is setting up. Johnny Harris looking for that, but he's bumped off. And now we get into this track meet that we didn't see earlier. Back and forth. Niederkorn save, and the net goes off. The only thing in it is that's Denoyer on a great committed back check. You talked about they're going to live and die by the blue line. Well, one of the best ways to help defenders that don't have a ton of experience is what we're seeing here. We get a great rush going up one way. Iavino spins, but loses the puck, but a great play. So Denoyer's down by the goal line here, and then the Spartans go the other way. So he sprints 200 feet back. Denoyer ties up that Spartan streak into the net. Incredible effort on the defensive side, committing to it. Unfortunately, Denoyer's going to the box for 2 minutes as a result of that. They're going to call him for a hook.
Yeah, so we'll get to see the Raiders on the penalty kill for the first time this year. And now we have another whistle right off the face-off here.
I'm going to guess that's a net off.
The net did come out. I know that the Spartans are supposed to find the back of the net, but the players aren't supposed to find the back of the net.
Sure.
The puck is. So they kind of messed up the net there on the last time. And so as a result, they will be putting the net back in place again just 5 seconds into this penalty kill for the Raiders.
5:35 left here in this first period. 1:54 on the power play. Raiders, on this penalty kill. Spartans now trying to feed the point. Milner gets a spinning, whirling dervish slap shot on that, and he's going to get a change.
Remember, this is what they did so well last year. A lot of shorthanded goals, and they're going to be missing that this year, at least so far early on.
For sure. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to generate the same kind of chances. Eddie Piney backs up, forcing the Spartans to the outside and forcing them to wheel the net. Spartans gain the zone on this near hash, and it goes high. Now across D to D, left circle, rung down. Looks like the Spartans setting up a 1-3-1, most common power play. They get up to the top, number 18, shot, wrister, bounced up over the top of Niederkorn. He got a piece of it. Now Spartan shot, blocked in front, That's going to be Charlie Williams got a piece of that. And the Spartans regroup, sending it across. That one bounces off the blade of number 9 for the Spartans. That's Ethan Dennis. Dennis now with the puck on the right-hand side. Wrist shot. One of the things that, there it is. Coming out, almost a dangerous play. Wrist shot, snapshot. That one ends up deflected. And now the Spartans are laying a lot of pressure. Glove save by Niederkorn. Doesn't hold on to it. And we've got a slash as Eddie Piney's stick is knocked out of his hand. And so the Raiders are going to go to 4-on-4
and
here.
And Denoyer in the box banging against the glass, excited because the Raiders got bailed out by the Spartans there with that slash, and it goes to a 4-on-4. And Denoyer kind of looking over at number 9 for Rochester-Mayo, and I don't know if he's chirping at him or what, but they're talking to each other over there in the box. That's what you like to see, you know.
Do you?
No, not chirping, but the start of hockey season in Minnesota. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation. You don't necessarily want to be trash talking your opponent.
Well, the one thing we don't know, nowadays kids they see each other so much in other
Right.
sports.
That's what I'm
we know
saying.
Denoyer might know
he
the
might
kid.
know
from
the kid.
baseball or
I'm not
something.
saying he should be. He should be chirping at him, but
Johnny Teaglin shot that doesn't get all the way through as the Raiders start this 4-on-4 down in the Spartan zone. There, number 4 comes in, tries to walk around, does get a little bit of an angle there, but there's Niederkorn closing that door. Iovino comes back the other way. 4:08 left here in this first period. 24 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey before the Raiders will have roughly a minute 10 on the power play. Tied up, deep left quarter, 1-on-1. Puck slid ahead. They've got a wide open Vanderhoff. Goal! Johnny Harris sees him, sits on it for a second. And, you talk about guys that haven't played together a ton, right? At least in recent years. But the communication there and the reading off each other as Vanderhoff sees the battle, slides to the front. Puck is chipped down. Harris waits until the defender commits, throws it right, tape to tape. Beautiful vision by number 21, the sophomore, Johnny Harris. And that gets Vandy the first goal of this Raiders season.
And last year it was the Stoffel and Harris connection. This year it might be the Vanderhoff and Harris connection.
I tell you what, that was an absolutely beautiful play on the way they set it up. We also got to give credit to number 19, Brody Carlson, as he was the one that was doing that dirty work in the corner that allowed the puck to squirt out to Johnny Harris. So now the Raiders, with a 1-0 lead, 3:28 left here in this first period, are now on the power play. Battling in the corner. Zagota has it, right-hand side. Bounces it back, but the Spartans anticipate and pick it off, but Vanderhoff covers. Chipped back to Miller, nice and patient, which is what you want to see, control. Slides up to Piney, wrist shot, loose. The goaltender, Wyke, unable to get control of it completely. Whoops, thank you, sir. Now Niederkorn has it, plays it to Piney. That's going to make 2 goalie coaches happy, even though Piney's tied up. But that's because of the line change. Now the Raiders come out. This is Denoyer. He chips it ahead. That's that's Teaglin. Teaglin across the ice to Johnny Harris. Johnny Harris enters offsides. Tough situation there as him and Denoyer ended up kind of tied up on the blue line.
I want to go back to that goal for a second. And you mentioned Johnny Harris being kind of the right place, right time. And, it's just a beautiful feed right in front to Blake Vanderhoff. And I really don't think there was anything the goaltender could have done on that one.
Absolutely not. The defender had Blake Vanderhoff covered, but the reality is he's got to commit there, and Harris just sits and waits him out, makes him make a choice, and then just feeds a nice, easy pass. That's a mature decision with that level of patience. Now here comes Denoyer. 7 seconds left on this power play. Raiders are going to get, now Denoyer's down. We've got a breakaway with no stick, no penalty luckily. Woo!
I've never seen that before, a breakaway with no stick.
Denoyer battles him as there was a little bit of a change, and Denoyer now gets ridden into the boards. But Denoyer battles hard legally and prevents that becoming a breakaway the other way. 2:08 left here in this first period. Raiders up 1-0, 9-7 shots for Raiders as a Spartan tries to split the D, but unable to do so. Johnny Harris picks it up to Iovino. Iovino back to Harris, and that bounces off the heel of his stick. Raiders on a line change, but able to hustle. Forces that puck to get dumped, rung around. Niederkorn not quite quick enough to get there. Looks like he needs more conditioning. And here comes Zagota on a great feed. He's got help, delays, tries to throw it across to Shanks. unable to get through, and then there's a little bit of shoving.
Yeah, Shanks got tied up there, and it looked like Zagota was trying to get it to Shanks on the 2-on-1 and give Shanks a chance to go top shelf, but Shanks got tied up there and unfortunately kind of went away, did the shot chance.
Yep. And a little bit of afterwards, you see a little 10-on-10 hate crime here as Roman McNamara takes a shot. Now the Spartans win the face-off, chip it out. That's going to force a stretch. Here comes the Spartans. They try to throw in the middle. Good back check by the defender, Sawyer Zaruba. Zaruba was the one that had it hop over stick, but did a great job coming back, preventing a further chance. On that board, McNamara chips it up ahead. Zagota gives chase. Now left to right. Back to Zaruba. He lays some wood, but that's going to be offsides. 1:14 left. We will have, we'll have Coach Klein come up, I would assume relatively quickly early in this first and second period intermission. So we'll have our in-between period interview with him. I'm still scanning the crowd for who I want to try and pull up second period. I'll probably grab someone on the way. We're going to have a little bit of a change for those of you that listened last year. After the interview, I'm going to turn over the recap and all the important work here to Trey as I go chat with Cody Niederkorn for a moment. 1:05 left here in the first. Raiders up 1-0 on a absolutely beautiful 4-on-4 goal between Carlson, Harris. Now you see a pass across Vandy. Shot, and that goal, as I mentioned, was Vanderhoff from Harris. Left-hand side, there's Carlson battling. Milner giving chase back. Stepped up was Tieglin, and Tieglin lost that one. Not going to see that too often. Carlson, though, covering. Gets control, plays it nice and slow. Diagonal pass across, picked up by Rochester-Mayo, but Niederkorn's there to throw it out. Love to see that.
Yep.
Again, it's the idea of taking control of the game. That puck gets out of the zone. Instead of a scoring chance for Rochester by sitting back and waiting, instead Cody Niederkorn comes out and plays it. I'll try not to be too much of a goalie coach here while I'm watching. Puck to the front, shot, goal. Terrible turnover with 15.4 left, and that leaves the goaltender dry. We're going to have to look back at the replay here.
I think I agree with like what happened down here with Mayo. I'm not sure there was much of anything Cody Niederkorn could have done on that one. Bad pass led to a turnover, and it was just the Mayo player, the Spartan, versus Cody Niederkorn. And one of those one-on-ones where it's a 50-50.
Yep, three guys get on the wrong side. That forces the defender to pinch over.
He went blocker side, too, and just beat Cody Niederkorn.
So what ends up happening is we end up with a wing down at the bottom there. Carlson trying to cover. He's a left wing, so when that battle's on that left-hand side, we're going to see him have to step. Now the Raiders trying to battle out. Puck not able to clear the zone as Denoyer loses his stick.
So that'll end the first period, and it's two late first period goals, one by each team, that have us knotted at 1 here at the end of the first intermission, and kind of a tight one so far between Rochester-Mayo and Hastings. We take back one more look at these goals here, and it was Blake Vanderhoff from Johnny Harris in front for the first one of the period, and then the second one, Rochester-Mayo off of a turnover all alone in front on Cody Niederkorn, goes blocker side and scores to make it 1-1. And that's where we stand here at the end of this first period as we await the arrival of Coach Matt Klein. And we'll step aside and be right back here on your home of the Hastings Raiders.
year or two, if nothing else, the butterflies of being a head coach here in your hometown, not as big as last year. What did you think of your Raiders in that first period?
No, it's so far a really fun group to be a part of. I mean, you're not going to see any Blazers, but man, the puck moves and we play together in most zones quite well most of the time. And we get off to a good lead, get a good look, had some chances early, stayed pretty consistent, had a really good game to us early, and we just kind of got out of our habit at the end.
That goal was a tough situation where you have a defender doing the right thing, pinching, gets caught on the wrong side, and a left wing there trying to play D. It's a tough read for him. One of the biggest things that Trey and I talked about before this period or before this game was the idea of replacing those seniors. One thing I noticed was incredible effort on back checks. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about what you're looking for on the defensive side of the puck.
Just our kids to stay connected, and we try to really work above the puck when it's not on your side. Your side you go, let's get above if it's not, and it's just their feet are moving, their eyes are really good, and it's putting ourselves in good places to get that next puck, whether it's a chip or we're picking off a pass or just supporting the D. It was a pretty good period for us, and we're actually quite happy.
Absolutely. Coach Klein, thank you so much. I know you got a bunch of guys to go talk to. I'll actually be following you down here. We're going to go to a commercial break on the radio. We will be back here for this second period on your home of Hastings Sports, AM 1460 KDWA and HCTV.
Okay.
There we go. So those of you that are listening on the radio, I'm learning how to do both of these things here. And again, remember, my training was, hey, could you do this next year? Sure, I'd love to. And now what I love is, oh, geez, that's Sean Anselman over in the corner there. Look at that. Like, he's not even paying attention to the game. He's on his phone, screwing around. Here's a game. He's on. Like, come on, you paid admission. At least watch Anselman. Unbelievable. No,
Yeah,
but
so let's talk about that first period. Actually, you want to finish your point
yeah,
there
just
first.
about the Wall of Honor. You know, it's one of the great things about this community is the number of people who give back and how long they're here. John Dewall, for example, a guy, you're never going to see that again. Somebody who is a three-sport coach at times.
We should fill in the TV viewers because they didn't get that.
Yeah, so tomorrow night.
Yes, the Wall of Honor will be tomorrow night at the Hastings girls basketball game against Burnsville. KDWA and I believe HCTV will also be there for that tomorrow night. So you'll have a chance to listen to it. But
I was looking for the thumbs up from Hunter, but apparently he's on the phone with Anselman.
So it's going to be Alan Sandy Storley, Greg Sandkamp, John Dewall, Jackie Kranz, Terry Hartman, Bob Majeski, and Dick Craig are the 8 honorees tomorrow night at the basketball halftime that are being put up in the Hastings High School Wall of Honor for exemplary services to athletics. Also today, we mentioned the announcement for our TV viewers. We just talked about this on the radio. Jalen Hansen and Noah Quigley are the Excel honorees, and the AAA Award honorees are Martin Onen and Emma Hagan, and obviously all 4 of them with exemplary services to athletics in Hastings as well. So congratulations to all of those, and we will provide you with continuing coverage of the Wall of Honor ceremony during the basketball game tomorrow night as best as we can on the radio as well.
There you see the 2 men in the corner. I've talked about this before. One thing that I love, we mentioned the idea of Hastings and how many people give back, but it's also what are we here for, which is making memories. This is a simple thing. Those people on TV can see it in the far side on the radio. To the right of the arena, to the left of that new scoreboard, we got these 20-foot tall inflatable tube men that go up whenever the Raiders score or the start of the periods. And those kind of things, again, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for kids.
I really like the culture that Matt Klein has built here with getting the youth kids involved there at the end of that first intermission, having the 2 men up in the air, the music is blaring.
For sure.
This is everything we want here as we start the second period.
Face-off won by the Raiders. Piney defensively across. That just misses, but no icing, as that was number 16, Brody Larson. Now the Raiders trying to establish their forecheck. Vanderhoff gets a hold of it and throws it across the front. Carlson comes up. Eddie Piney going in hard. And now we got some high hits as number 9 for Rochester-Mayo. Ethan Dennis, who already has been in the box once, took umbrage with it. Now it goes across. There's Larson. Loses that puck just a touch. Actually, yes, 16, Brody Larson. Still making sure I get my numbers right as I cross teams here between girls and boys.
You've got like 8 different teams to worry about.
Well, give or take shots, and I don't know where it is. And
but Cody Niederkorn did.
He did, kind of. So Niederkorn swallows that one up as Larson stepped in. Raiders here with the line change. 1-1 in this second period. 16-18 left in it, so just to start. Face-off will be to the right of Niederkorn, to the left for those of you watching on TV. Joey Iovino, senior captain, steps in, wins the face-off. That goes back to Johnny Tieglin. Tieglin sends it up. Raiders on a set offensive play here off that draw. Harris to Iovino, not quite able to get it, and DeNoyer loops back. Now Rochester-Mayo sends it, no ice. So the Raiders will have to give chase. That's Brody Carlson, number 19, trying to go DDD to Tieglin. Just misses. Turnover. Niederkorn controls it. Leaves it for his defender. A little bit of a miscommunication between him and Carlson. I think Niederkorn wanted to cover it. Raiders now battling behind the net. That's a little bit dangerous. Good stick work by DeNoyer. DeNoyer has Harris. Harris now going to have to cut the line. Does not do it as he just ran out of real estate. Either he's got to loop back to the left, hit the wall, or go offsides. He chose to go offsides. Here we see that breakout again. You're going to see guys streaking. Harris, we saw that from his older brother a lot last year, especially on the on the kill. We talked about it with Harris flying out of the zone the minute the Raiders got possession, and the younger Harris, Johnny, who's got that assist tonight, trying to do the same thing. Raiders dump it in. The goaltender, Wyke, for Rochester, sets it up, and that allows the Spartans to come out of their zone. They get the red line, but lose possession as Piney backhands it to DeNoyer. DeNoyer slips past a check, pokes it, to Charlie Williams, number 18. And the Raiders trying to get possession, but number 27, the goal scorer, Cohen Ruskell, who scored for Rochester-Mayo to tie it up, is there. Raiders on a little bit of a change here. Zagoda trying to pressure on the right-hand side as Denoyer steers him there. Sliding in was Shanks, number 7. And now they turn it over. Spartans now turning it over to Williams. Raiders get it. Stay onside. Here comes Shanks. Feeds it ahead. Trying to get it to number 10. That's Roman McNamara. He's the one that's on the receiving end of our Perkins pancake of the game so far.
McNamara certainly had a good look there, and the puck just squirted past his stick just ever so slightly. And a really good chance for the Raiders, spoiled there by a mischievous puck.
Yep, it just slid ahead. You know, that ice is a little bit slippery. Raiders girls update, 4-1 now as Casey Plank puts the puck in the net as the Raiders girls in Somerset, Wisconsin try to get their record back to 500 under first-year head coach Jim Joseph. Puck rung left to right, not white, as that's Zaruba. Now the puck steps up, bounce back. Somebody lost a knob as number 24 pokes that puck away. That is Connor Zagoda. So that's going to be tough for me a little bit here. 24 is Zagoda. 23 is Matt Sherry, and then Zaruba's 26, so I'm going to have to work on my Z's. Shot, deflected in front, rebound, loose. Niederkorn's got to be careful. That was a trip and a slash.
Somebody's lost a stick here.
Yeah, by lost you mean Niederkorn slashed it out of his hands, and the referee turned a blind eye as the Spartans now get the puck on that change. They're coming in with pressure. Good back check here by Vanderhoff. That was critical because that could have turned into a 2-on-1. Now Mayo, somebody loose in that half slot. That chips wide. Number 9, we've heard him kind of all night. Ethan Dennis, mostly because of his shenanigans. Battle on this near ball.
Can we call him Dennis the Menace?
Dennis the Menace. He keeps going. It's going to have to be. Vanderhoff wins with a hit. That's not a pancake. That's not even a crepe. Now the Spartans come back out. 12, pushing past. They get ahead of Vandy. Vandy with a dive. No penalty. Great job by him to get the stick on it, to push that thing to the side without taking a penalty. Now the Spartans with possession. Vanderhoff slow plays it, goes D to D on the top. Diagonal across, looking backdoor, but that goes too far. 13-17, Raiders and Spartans tied at 1 apiece, both goals in the first frame. Shot deflected by Johnny Tieglin. Bounces up to the Spartans, number 4, that is Will Sexton. Diagonal pass to the top, Niederkorn screen, able to get across there and get a blocker on it. One of the things that Niederkorn talked to me about in between is Rochester's doing a great job as they're now we're seeing
Vanderhoff got sent into the stanchion.
He did, and then there was a punch thrown by 11 and Vanderhoff. The question is, are they going to get both? So Vanderhoff,
looks like Vanderhoff is going away. Yeah, Vanderhoff got sent right into the red stanchion at center ice that separates the two benches, and then he got launched into the Hastings bench almost onto Bruce Karnick down there, and so as a result, they send them both off, and we're going to have 4-on-4 hockey here for 2 minutes. As if you're looking on the TV side, just watch and look carefully. Right into the stanchion. It's a good thing it's padded, because that would have hurt.
Number 11 for the Spartans took some liberties with Vanderhoff. 11 is, I don't even see him on here. Here he goes, Ryan Drips. So not only did he hammer Vanderhoff, which is acceptable, that's perfectly legal as Niederkorn leaves the puck, but then he gives him a two-handed shot, and Vanderhoff isn't going to tolerate that, so he throws a right cross. Shot! Oh, baby, that one just went off the back as the Raiders allowed number 27, Cohen Ruskell, to get through on a crossing pass.
Yeah, Ruskell about had his second goal there.
Luckily, it slid on the underside of his stick there. Now 12-17 left. Raiders and Spartans. Now it's loose. Ruskell. Nope, not Ruskell. That time it was number 20. That is Mason Lineback. He just sends it over the glove of Niederkorn. Spartans now seeming to have a little bit of edge in momentum, pushing the puck into the Raiders zone and controlling play here. Shot misses high and left, and that's going to be in the rafters for a face-off.
Yeah, that's not where the puck's supposed to go, guys. It's supposed to go in the net.
Yeah, and, well, no, it's not. That's supposed to be at the other end.
Oh, exactly. Okay.
For sure, but they are missing.
That works for them then.
You can see that play. The Raiders have had a couple of times, those of you watching on the replay there, where the Spartans have sent a guy driving that center lane between the hash marks, and the Raiders have lost sight of him occasionally. Face-off now to the left of Niederkorn.
I got to say that it's a really good-looking uniform matchup tonight also.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Sweden versus split pea soup. Let's call it that. Here comes Roman McNamara. Drop pass, shot. That didn't get through. Great try by Zagoda. As the Raiders now trying to tilt back, but number 12 slides ahead, stretch press. Here comes a breakaway, backhand, save. It's loose, and the net is off. Great job by Niederkorn. Gets his pad on it.
Yeah, and number 12 for Rochester-Mayo, who is
Gavin
Nicholson. He's trying to figure out how he didn't score here. I mean, he was all in by himself. The entire Hastings defense was further up the ice, and Cody Niederkorn just read that beautifully and made a stretch save there to prevent that from being 2-1. You're the goalie coach. What do you think about that one?
We call that the starfish.
The starfish.
Yeah, when you end up on your tummy and everything's spread out. But the bigger concern, we talked at the beginning of this game as the Raiders win that face-off. Charlie Williams rings it around is, you got to replace 3 defenders who basically played 3 years of varsity hockey with just guys who, regardless of ability, just haven't had as much ice time. And so the Raiders are going to have to watch as Rochester has been able to spring some guys a couple of times. Really, it's about that transition game that the Raiders are going to have to catch up to. Now D to D, that's Carlson from Teaglin, and the battle's at the blue line of the Spartans. Johnny Harris tried to get a hold of it. Now he does, has it bounced, but is knocked down. Loose stick. That's got to be a Spartan player. Actually, I don't know whose it is. Everyone's got sticks out there, so maybe there was a chain. Carlson, left to right behind the net to Teaglin. Teaglin absorbs a blow. Brody Larson now tries to chip it ahead to Harris, but that doesn't go anywhere, and now the Raiders are back in their zone. Reverse drop pass from Carlson to Teaglin. Teaglin steps out to the right, has pressure, chips it off the boards, and Harris gets it into the neutral zone. Now back, Harris has it. He's got Iovino and Milner. Puck is between his feet.
Good puck movement there, just wasn't able to get the finish.
Coming the other way, 2-on-1. Here we see transition again. Spartan shot, blockered up into the glass by Niederkorn, and there's going to be a penalty as Milner is slammed into the boards by the Spartans,
and
number 14.
Taking a second to gather himself there after that one, a big hit. Danny Milner was the starting quarterback for the Hastings Raiders football team this year. He's taken some hits this year, but that one he's going to feel in the morning.
Yeah, he's pretty ginger on that left leg. As we can see, Milner's going in. It's a dangerous play. His head is down. And this is where hockey has changed over the years, is the impetus, the onus, the responsibility of that check is on the person without the puck. It doesn't matter anymore if he's got his head down. You have to recognize if that's a dangerous play and basically make sure that you're not putting somebody in a defenseless position into an injured state. So the Raiders now, 10-10 left here in this second period, 2-minute power play. Carlson across to Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff on the left side. He's got Zagoda with him. Now he hangs up at the hash. Drop pass. Eddie Piney to the right side. One time across. As that's Larson tip in front by Milner. Back out, so that injury didn't do too much.
Yeah, good to see him back out there. He is still kind of skating slowly, but he's at least back out there.
No, I've skated with him. That's just his pace. Here comes Piney up that left-hand side. Passes Zagoda. Milner stays on side. Piney goes down deep behind the net. Drop pass to Zagoda. Zagoda now has to get possession. Doesn't. That slides up, and now luckily Piney and Carlson are back as the Spartans get the blue line. 1:13 left here in this second period. In this power play. 9:22 left in this second period. Now here comes Carlson. He drives through, backhand. Just high, misses. Goaltender doesn't know where it is, and Zagoda sets up. Low to high, that's Charlie Williams. Wrister doesn't get through that first layer of the Spartans' defense, and the Raiders are going to have to change. Niederkorn holds it up for Williams. He is pressured by Dennis the Menace, Ethan Dennis, number 9, for the Spartans.
Didn't mean for that nickname to stick.
Nah, it works, though. Again, he's got an edge to him in the way he plays, but he moves his feet constantly. Williams on the power play waits, sends it out to the left-hand side to Teaglin, who now enters the zone, gets down to the Spartan hash, and then turns to escape. Drop pass. That's Johnny Harris high, and that's just a mistime as Charlie Williams was sliding to the middle and left a little bit early, and Harris threw it up, and now the Raiders have to regroup. 18 seconds left on this power play. Iovino gets the line. Drop pass. Shot, that's Denoyer. That doesn't get through. Denoyer gets his rebound, though, off of a shin pad, now in that right corner. Puck low to high, Williams back to Denoyer on the half wall, has it bounce on his stick. Penalty is over. Rochester kills, and we are at 8:04. 13-11 shots on goal in this kind of the first period had the same kind of thing where they just back and forth, and then there's some explosion. This period, Raiders have yet to get too much of the explosion on their side, but have given up some odd man rushes, and Denoyer just hits the inside of the crossbar on an absolute wicked snapshot. Now the Raiders trying to get some chances. Denoyer there was less than half an inch away. Pass, Harris, goal!
What a tic-tac goal there. And the Raiders go up 2-1. Johnny Harris. And that one was kind of weaving in and out of traffic like he's on I-35.
I tell you what, that was pretty impressive. There you see Joey Ivino grabbing the puck, because that is Johnny Harris's first varsity goal.
Congratulations.
This starts with Denoyer, who ends up firing it, and then Iovino and Harris, or Iovino and Denoyer, do all the dirty work down low. Harris slides in, and to your point about kind of the tic-tac-toe, is Harris, instead of just hammering it, waits for a second, pulls backhand, and hammers it through the legs. 2-1.
So first varsity goal for Johnny Harris. And that's a last name that Hastings hockey fans will know quite well from last year.
Raiders now up 2-1.
And previously than that, too.
Yeah, for sure, but last year especially lighting that up. Shot. That one's deflected. That shot was by number 24, Connor Zagoda. Now the puck squirts out. There's Zagoda and Zaruba battling at the front, trying to hold it in. It squirts past both of the Raiders, and it goes back to Sawyer Zaruba, 26. My bad on that, 23. I keep mixing that up. That's Matt Sherry. I'll get there. Puck over to the side. Number 10, Roman McNamara, trying to maintain possession. Bounces back and forth, but then it squirts out to the point, but doesn't clear. Raiders lead 2-1. Shots on goal, 15-11. 6:43 left here in this second frame of the first game, as we're going to have no ice in this critical section matchup between the Raiders and the Spartans. Puck now out in the neutral zone again. That goes a little bit past. Niederkorn out, rips it up. Now we got to be careful. Pass across to the front, like the aggression. Got to get that off the glass. Shot, rebound, paddled out, now blockered out. And then it's shipped ahead. Niederkorn with a great idea, just has to get it off the glass so that second Spartan doesn't get it. Shot on goal by captain number 11, Danny Milner. And that's held on by the goaltender, White.
Yeah, we know Milner's got some speed. At least we saw it this year in football. He had a 68-yard touchdown run, as we take one more look back at the goal there by Johnny Harris. And yeah, I mean, he just found the direction that the goaltender wasn't going to go and put it in the back of the net. But like I say, we've seen Milner get down there. We know he can run fast. Looks like he's got some abilities on the skates too.
Absolutely does. Shot by Denoyer. That one's swallowed up by White. On that goal, the critical thing, so here we are watching Johnny Harris, young kid, sophomore, getting some time. Created that first goal off a great pass on Patience, and then got that second goal off of the same kind of thing as Denoyer's stick is flipped out of his hand, so he's forced to retreat. Now Tieglin steps up on number 20, but Denoyer's behind him to get the puck that's sent back. There's Ruskell and Denoyer down in the corner, battling, chipped up to the side. Harris unable to get there to block it. And now Tieglin on the right-hand side battles. He puts a guy down. It's going to be hard to beat that first period hit for the pancake of the game.
Yeah, I just wish it was the other way around.
Oh, no doubt. I'm with you, but the Pancakes, they choose themselves. It's not us, as the Raiders now have a 2-on-2. Here's Brody Carlson, drop pass to Harris, shot, rebound, kicked out. Larson, a defender. If he stops on that rebound might be there. Now Harris pitches on the side, steps up, tries to avoid a check, doesn't have to, as he gives a little bit of shove. Denoyer throws it to the front, doesn't clear, but Piney has it at the point. Great shot, deflected off of two skates.
Everybody thought that one went in.
Absolutely. Wyke saw it go two times different directions. At the 5:01 mark, we get a whistle, and is able to get it to keep it just a one-goal game.
The Hastings bench was reacting as if that one went in, and it looked like Eddie Piney may have hit a home run, pun completely intended, because he's committed to play baseball. But yeah, it almost looked like he had his first goal of the season there.
Great chance for the Raiders. We saw early Rochester-Mayo was the one that was kind of leaning on him, generating some fast break chances, to use a little bit of a basketball term, as Rochester does the same thing. We saw number 12 there, Gavin Nicholson, trying to streak. He's the one that had that breakaway earlier. And so Rochester trying to hit that home run. And generating
when did the baseball game break out?
Trying to hit that long streak, that stretch pass. And the Raiders, on the other hand, with zone time and zone possession, now take the lead.
And now you got to preserve this lead. And this is the kind of game we talked about Hastings wanted. These lower scoring games, this is going to be their identity this season.
Piney shot blocker to the corner by White, and then rung around off a backhand by Milner. Giving chase, Brody Larson. Larson works up, cycles down to Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff to Milner on the back door. Just misses, but then a shot from the point by Charlie Williams. Great job stepping up to rifle that. Just missed Milner on the back door. Great cycling job by this line to get the Mayo defenders chasing, and Milner sneaks behind. Just doesn't connect on it. Charlie Williams, though, on that rebound, jumps up, hammers that puck off a nice snapper, but the goaltender, the only thing there is we were late getting eyes in front, so a little bit tougher to take away that shot from the goaltender. Now at the blue line battling, Brody Larson again, sidesteps, pokes it deep in the corner, and he's ridden off the puck. The other way come the Spartans on this near side. Puck to the middle. Charlie Williams just misses. Now there's Niederkorn. Great stretch pass up. Vanderhoff just misses Larson. Good idea there. Again, you talked about it. You touched on it. Absolutely true. The Raiders do not want to play 5-4 hockey.
No.
That's not the kind of game they want to play. They want to play 3-2, 4-3 at most hockey.
Yeah.
2-1 is where they're going to feel comfortable.
Right, and you know, we said that they were going to live and die by the blue line, and they've had some lapses tonight. They have, but it's the first game.
Yep, for sure.
And they'll get that fixed. But like the score line right now is exactly where they want it.
I'm getting scolded that we didn't show the replay. Hey, McCarville, maybe pay attention closer, because we've showed it like 3 times on TV here. Update as the Raiders now regroup in their zone. Raiders boys, that is. That's chipped out to Denoyer. Denoyer just misses Iavino. Now in the neutral zone, and Rochester-Mayo chips it back in. Unable to get it out. That's Zaruba. Zaruba, number 23, chips it. Let's make sure I got that right. No, that's Matt Sherry. That's like the 4th time I've done that. I got to get that figured out on that back end on this right D side here. Now here we go. Sherry again trying to battle on the point, 23 on 23. Now Rochester, that is blocked by Iavino. Great block. You can hear the boots maybe from the Raiders as they celebrate that defensive style of hockey. Giving chase to Neuer, all the way down now in the Rochester zone. He battles, tries to get it to Harris. That doesn't happen, and now Harris fights off a block. Puck chipped up too far for Rochester. Now they gain control, walk in. This is dangerous. Shot, save, Niederkorn. Rebound, thrown to the middle, shot, save, goal.
Man, you got to get those rebounds, because that one landed right in the stick of a Rochester-Mayo player and just found the one slot in the net that wasn't occupied by Cody Niederkorn, and we've got a 2-2 hockey game.
Yeah, that puck got first save, kicked over to the left. Niederkorn slides back to the right on this one, as we're going to see 23, given just way too much space. Chest shot, harder to handle. Niederkorn slides over, gets up, and then...
Oh, it went the other way. Okay.
Yeah, it comes across on his glove side as he was worried. They ended up with a 2-on-0.
I guess I saw it from a different angle than what the replay showed, but it did come in the other direction that I had said it did. But nonetheless,
Raiders,
kind of a tough goal to give up there.
2-2 here. Raiders now tied. Shots on goal, 21-15. Now here come the Spartans walking in. Now back in that deep corner. Chipped ahead. Milner to Larson. Larson now crosses the blue line. Sends it across. Too far ahead for Vanderhoff as Milner goes in for a hit. Spins, loses his stick. And the Raiders are forced to regroup. 2:28 left here. Back to a tie game. That's a bad pass. Trying to thread it across was Brody Carlson. Instead, picked off and dumped in. Charlie Williams now by himself, has the puck, throws it up. Miscommunication there between him and Vanderhoff, and the Raiders are going to have to set up in their D zone. Loda high on the point. Vanderhoff trying to pick it. Now it's blocked. Loose. Shot. Good block by Milner. Poked out. So that'll force the Spartans to come off and give the Raiders a chance to regroup and set up their breakout. Behind the net, Carlson runs into the ref. Throws it back. Turnover shot. There was Dennis. Number 9 for the Spartans. He now chips it to the middle. That finds Charlie Williams' stick. He regroups, throws it ahead. Denoyer backhands it to Iovino. Now Denoyer has it. Harris on the backside. Harris just ran out of ice, caught it, and ended up behind the net. And an errant pass goes all the way down.
Perfect look at the net, too.
He did. He just was a little bit too far. Now a great stretch pass. Niederkorn up to Harris. Harris now waits, delays. Here's Denoyer's shot. Swallowed up by Wyke. Iovino there sitting on that backside. We're going to have to work on getting him in front, take those eyes away, not just him, but on this backside. Here we see that goal again. 23, puck bounces off of 16, who slides to the back door.
That was Nicholson.
Yep.
So
23 will get that second assist. We'll get those scoring updates here after this period. 1:15 left here in the second. Raiders tied 2-2. They had the 2-1 lead off of Johnny Harris's first goal of his varsity career.
They have not trailed tonight, but they've been tied twice.
2-on-2 exiting the zone. Rochester-Mayo crosses the red, crosses the blue. Toe drag, wrist shot. That's deflected. And now Rochester sets up low, looking for somebody streaking. Shot, hits the post, rebound, goal. I think that goal went off of Niederkorn's leg. The first shot from the point hit the right post, goes to the corner. As Niederkorn's coming back, they cycle out, throw it. He's sprawled out. I think it hits the inside of his pad and goes in.
Yeah, that looked like exactly what you described. It looked like everybody kind of froze when the puck goes off the post, and then the rebound just comes right back to the same Mayo player. The one who just scored the goal moments ago gets another one there. Number 20, Lembeck again for Rochester-Mayo. And it's a 3-2 lead, and I had just said the Raiders hadn't trailed tonight, now they do.
That's on you then.
That's on me. The announcer's jinx is real, folks. I was watching a college football game a couple weeks ago, and twice the announcer remarked about how good the field goal kicker was doing, and he missed a field goal both times. So, yes, if you remember me being quite careful and cautious about that during football season, that's why. It looks like we're going to get a penalty here. Rochester-Mayo going to go on the kill. Hastings is going to go on a power play, which will carry over to the third period.
Yeah, that's number 8 who goes to the box. Right winger Jacob Brown. As you said, the Raiders hadn't trailed before that.
Sorry.
Shot from the point. No, it is what it is, right? So that goal, his second of the night, number 20, gives the Spartans the lead. Now the Raiders on the power play, deflected, almost through, as that's a great tip in front by Zagoda off a shot that I believe was Vanderhoff. Zagoda tried to deflect it in front. Yep, that's Vanderhoff's shot, deflected by either Milner or Zagoda.
Looked like Zagoda had the last whack at it there for Hastings.
Face off to this right-hand side. 1:50 left on the power play, but only 30 seconds left in this second period. Miscommunication here, as there's an errant pass between Brody Larson and Eddie Piney. Now they regroup in their zone. 18 seconds left. Now they just don't want to force a turnover here. There's Dennis the Menace in the middle. They poke it past him. Zagoda to Milner. Milner just unable to get it, and the Raiders are offsides. No whistle. Clock's going to tick down. 4, 3, ice. And that puck goes technically a shot on goal. We exit this second period here. The Raiders are trailing 3-2 here.
Yeah, we got some goals to take a look at here in that period, and it was the Raiders that actually got it started first, and it looked like they were going to try to conserve this lead, and we talked about, 2-1, that's the kind of game they want to be in. Here was the second goal. It was Johnny Harris, and it was one of those loop-de-loop around the goaltender goals. Just put it in back behind Wyke and behind the net, made it a 2-1 advantage, and then Rochester-Mayo twice now on the rebound has gotten a goal. The first one comes back out to Linebeck, and Linebeck scores on the rebound to make it a 2-2 affair, and then moments later, he does it again when he rings it off the post, And then Rochester-Mayo gets it put back, line back off the post, rebound back to him. That makes it 3-2 Mayo at this point.
Raiders then trail 3-2 entering this second intermission. You're listening to Hastings AM 1460, FM 97.7.
And HCTV.
And HCTV. We're going to take a commercial break here. We will have a guest when I come back, but in between, Trey's going to catch you up on what's going on in your local sports.
Here.
All right, so I'm out of breath, man. I'm not good enough. I got to get in shape if I'm going to do both of these jobs here, running back and forth. So, just got my coaching job out of the way. One of the things I love to do here is bring in other athletes from other sports that I don't get a chance to call. And all of the winter sports now are in season. I'm joined here by freshman Matt Foss. Played on the football team. I was lucky enough to coach him this year. But winter, what sports you got going?
I play basketball.
Let's try and put that a little closer here.
I play basketball.
That's weird. I'm not used to having to tell you to talk louder, because if I remember right, I feel like we got a penalty from you yelling down the sideline, and they thought it was somebody else. No, that wasn't you?
No.
Talk about the basketball season so far. So freshmen coming in, tryouts underway. What was that like as a freshman trying out for a varsity basketball team?
It was scary.
What about it made it scary?
Much bigger. They have more experience.
No doubt. What position you play?
I play point guard, but this year I'm going to be playing more like off guard. Or like,
What does that mean? I'm a hockey guy.
Like I don't bring the ball up, but like I'm not point guard. I don't like run it.
You don't like running?
No, like I don't run it.
What do you mean by run it? Like you don't run the offense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why. Basically, you're struggling just to tell me what you're doing here. Relax, you're all good here, bud. So off guard's not the guy that's carrying the ball up the field,
No.
or up the court, not the one that's generating stuff. In other words, you're not the quarterback of the basketball
No.
team. You're more setting up as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Got it. See, that makes more sense. First game tomorrow night, who you guys facing?
Big Lake.
Big Lake. Where are they from?
No clue.
If you say Big Lake, that's a terrible answer. You have any idea geographically where it's close to? You
No.
can't shake your head on the radio.
okay.
Like, yes, over there they can see you shaking your head, but the people on the
no.
radio,
No.
no. Coming in from middle school sports, you played AAU, obviously. Did you have a chance to play with these guys in the summer?
Yeah, the summer, yeah.
So where do you guys have summer leagues at? What does that look like?
It's like we do like game. We don't do full games, but it's like 20-minute games, and we go to where is it?
Isn't it in Wisconsin?
No. Where
No.
is it?
I don't know. We'll come back to that question.
All right.
You keep thinking there. How much of a chance did you get to work with Coach Olson, Coach Fikema in the summer before this this start of the season?
A good amount.
Good amount. So were they
Yeah.
there in a lot of that summer stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. What? So football in the fall, basketball in the winter. Any
Yep.
spring sport?
Track.
Track. Is that because Cook is making you?
No. Just I want to get a. Just do it.
Just do it. Is this
Yeah.
because your dad won't let you sit at home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which out of the three sports, which one tends to be your favorite in season?
Basketball.
Is it really? What's the reason that basketball is the number one for you?
I don't know.
Is it because you don't get hit?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I promise.
I'm just
No.
throwing it out there. I mean, I watched you play football for a while. I'm just making sure.
No.
Matt Foss, thank you so much. I know I'm putting you on the spot here as a freshman. I appreciate
Yeah.
you coming up. Good luck in your game tomorrow at Big Lake.
Thank you.
I'm hoping it's about a 6-hour drive so I can make fun of Mr. Olson for not getting much sleep.
All right.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Matt Foss.
Yeah. Thank you.
You bet. Corey Onken. Oh, no. Yeah, it is Corey. It's always hard for me to tell who he is because he's got that red hat on now instead of the shaved mullet. But he's got the Zamboni going through that middle stripe now. 4:51 on the clock. We're going to take another quick break. We will come back, give you an update on the other sports going on, talk about that second period just a touch, and then bring you the third period action as the Raiders trail the Mayo Spartans 3-2 here in the opening night from the Hastings Civic Arena. Woo! That
7. Yeah, if you're just joining us on HCTV, Prescott girls basketball got a 59-27 win over St. Croix Central tonight, and it was 33-20 at halftime. So they hold them to 7 points in the second half, go to 3-1 on the season. Katrina Budworth, 16 points, Izzy Matzik, 14, Violet Otto with 10, and they go to 2-0 in the conference. That's for our KDWA listeners. Back here on HCTV at these intermission, where Rochester-Mayo leads Hastings 3-2, and if you're Hastings, you really don't want to surrender, obviously, any more goals, but you're starting to get to that point where we talked about where you don't want to get into a 4-3 kind of hockey game.
Yep. So the key for the Raiders is going to be to kind of keep their composure, play their game. 4-3 isn't their ideal, but 8-7, those are the ones that are really dangerous. Niederkorn doing a great job controlling play. Definitely some bounces he would want back. He told me that second goal off his toe. Third goal, a tough angle. It went off the inside of his pad, and so we'll have to see if the Raiders are able to get bounces. The good news is they're starting this third period here on the power play.
Oh, that's right. They got a minute 19.
Yep, 1:19 left as Jacob Brown sits in the box here.
Yeah,
Raiders on the power play.
This will be an important 1:19 to start this final period.
Connor Zagoda wins that faceoff, comes in on the left-hand side, rings it hard around, but Brody Larson is there. Try and get it in. Now we got a battle on that far boards underneath the hash, rung past Milner, and Eddie Piney's going to have to work all the way down from the neutral zone back to pinch it in. Raiders unable to get possession. They throw a backhand. There's Larson again, and that goes off of Vanderhoff's skate, and Zagoda's skate, and the Raiders are going to have to retreat. 51 seconds left on the power play. 16:30 left here in this third period, as the Raiders regroup back in their zone. Piney escapes behind the net. Backhand pass. This time it is to Vanderhoff. Now to Zagoda. Zagoda crosses with Milner. Slides it across. Milner now dumps it around to Zagoda, who lets it slide past to Vandy. Raiders with the first time with possession and spacing. Up top, Charlie Williams. Backhand. That's a one-time pass from Eddie Piney. From Johnny Tieglin, and that goes off a Williams skate. And they're forced to retreat all the way back. That's going to probably spell the end of this power play as Tieglin now spins, fires it into the linesman's skate, and the Raiders regroup.
Yeah, that's not how you wanted that penalty to go, especially when you're down a goal here in the third.
Nope, just a little bit of forcing passes, and the timing just a little bit off here in that first game as Denoyer's ridden hard into the boards. Puck back up top, into Denoyer's feet. Denoyer now down low. That's Harris. Harris back up top. 18, Charles Williams has that blocked. He's racing back, 2-on-1 shot. Saved by Niederkorn. Puck is loose. He had control, and then it spun out, but safely to the corner. There goes Denoyer. He chips it past. He's got Harris in front and Iavino behind, but again, we see that timing and that spacing just not there yet. It's early season, and it shows on some of those one-touch passes. Down into that back left corner. Piney gets it behind Niederkorn. Now the turnover, as that is Carlson this time, up to Harris. Harris now ridden off the puck into the boards. High slot, 14, backdoor pass. Niederkorn challenges way out and actually kicks it out of the skate, or off the stick of Will Sexton.
He went with the Peter Mrazek there.
Oh, look at you. Trying to go deep cut on me. Puck dumped all the way down, and the Raiders icing.
Oh, I forgot he was on the Blackhawks for a little while.
Well, he is on the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You're a Blackhawks fan, but no, I was saying Mrazek likes to do that poke check thing, and that wasn't necessarily a poke check, that was a hip check almost.
Yeah, he slides out and kicks that puck away as he's trying to square up. But really, the dangerous part is number 4. 4 ends up, wide open on the back door.
So 14:29 left here in the third. And the Raiders will take a face-off. Looks like Zagoda was going to take it, and now comes out.
They're just going to have him reset up. Looks like there was something on the scoreboard. Zagoda now loses that drop. Drop back one time. Scooped up by Niederkorn. Shot from that right defenseman, number 25, Alec McBain. Zagoda now swings by the bench, getting some instructions. Out with Zagoda. It's number 23, Matt Sherry. Number 24, Connor Zagoda. Flipped out Interesting face-off situation there, as earlier in the game, Austin Shanks, number 7, was the one that was taking the centering spot, but they had some kind of set play that had Zagota out there.
Yeah, well, they had Sherry in there first for the face-off, and then they took him out and put Shanks in for that face-off. And the Raiders end up having another one down here on the opposite circle. So
here comes Brody Larson. Brody Larson in. Vanderhoff trying to get a jump, so they're going to wave off Larson, and Vandy has to jump in there. Danny Milner, the far one, he's going to have to get all the way out to the point. They wait. As the Raiders lose that draw, it's sent back right to left in the corner. Milner tries to go in and reach, but has that squared out. Puck tipped ahead. Milner tries to get it across on that breakout to Vanderhoff, but instead the Spartans get a hold of it. Milner on the boards, chipped up. Vanderhoff going to be the first Raider on it, with Larson on the left-hand side and Milner hanging high as that forward. Milner now poke checks it, gives time for Larson. Larson now trying to slide through, but runs into a wall of green. Still battling. Milner loses that up to the top, as finishing his check into Matt Sherry is number 9. And number 9 plants this time Sawyer Zaruba. So that Dennis the Menace label again, just playing on that edge, getting away with stuff. Nothing dangerous, but definitely annoying. Raiders dump it in. That's kind of that pest roll that number 9, Ethan Dennis, for the Spartans likes to play. Mayo now tries to work their way up. Piney battling, loses position after he loses an edge. Williams slides in, hip check. Mayo throws it up, but there's no defender there early. So instead, they're forced to throw it back deep as Williams is able to get it to Harris. Harris now sends it right to left, rings it around behind the netminder, White. And that allows Rochester to exit cleanly. Puck to the right side, that's number 27, knifing it deep in the corner. Cohen Ruskell, he had that game's first goal. Raiders now, D to deep. Harris left the wall, far side too early. You can see Piney looked up ice, looking for someone to send it, but Harris had already left. So Piney now stuck behind the net. Clock ticking down, 12:26. Plenty of time for the Raiders. Haven't really generated much this period, despite starting on the power play.
Yeah, I believe Rochester-Mayo has all the shots on goal so far in this period as well.
Feels that way for sure as the puck is dumped down. Niederkorn gets a hold of it. Backhand pass. Nicely done to Harris. That allows him to chip it to Iovino. Iovino, diagonal pass.
Almost.
Again, kind of forced, as Rochester-Mayo was able to read that one and step up and get a stick on it. So early season, potentially a little bit of timing. Puck is bounced off a helmet, high stick. And Rochester-Mayo doesn't want to touch. They do, and now the puck's going to go all the way down for the faceoff after a high stick. That was a weird deflection.
Yeah, someone was trying to go full World Cup and head that one into the net.
That's not allowed.
Not allowed, and it wouldn't have counted anyway if it had, but there'd be more goals there than we would have seen in several soccer games in the World Cup so far.
For those of you watching on HCTV, a couple of things. So Hunter, while our producer here, while the scoreboard does say second period, we're in the third, so we can help out on our end by putting it up that it's a third period. For those of you that see it in the background, realize we do have a brand new scoreboard here. And so, while we have a brand new scoreboard, we don't exactly have brand new scoreboard operators, and they've been operating the other one since I think it was just an abacus.
Yeah, it still does say second period on the scoreboard.
Correct, but we are in the third.
We are
here.
in the third, correct.
Pass to the middle, broken up. Now here come the Raiders with a chance at a 3-on-2. Zagota has it, loses it, and now forces.
Yeah, Rochester-Mayo calling for a penalty, and I think they might be getting one here. There's a whistle, or maybe they were calling for an offside. They were calling for something.
Yeah, they
got the whistle they were looking for.
Well, not the one they were looking for. They got a whistle. What they were looking for was probably an interference off of Zagota there after he lost the puck. Face off back. Puck dumped left to right by Johnny Tieglin. Spins around.
And for those who are wondering, we get our data of the scoreboard straight from the in-house scoreboard.
Really?
So that is why it still says second period, because it says second period on the scoreboard in the arena.
That's that.
So just want to clear that up.
Stuff.
we weren't throwing Hunter Pinky under the bus by any stretch of the imagination.
I was throwing him under the bus. Puck bounces out. Mayo's leading scorer this game, probably of the season now, drives left. That's number 20. Cuts to the middle.
Oh.
Poke check. Net is off, but the refs haven't called it. Dangerous play there. Cody Niederkorn with an ill-advised by this coach, but much appreciated by the other coach, poke check as it drives the front of the net and prevents number 20 Layson Lineback from getting his hat trick. Now in the deep left corner, that's Milner, backhands it. We're going to see a line change. Nope, that's actually just Johnny Tieglin working his way back up as we hear a loud noise to the left-hand side as Iavito. Oh, that could be, nope, we're letting them play here a little bit. I thought, that's another one I thought could have been a penalty as we've got to be careful now. There's the shot, rebound. That comes out, 23 for the Raiders there. Matt Sherry ends up on the wrong side behind the net and allows the Spartan to step out and hammer a backhand. And luckily, Cody Niederkorn was there for him.
Got a collision right here in front of us on the Mayo bench.
Yep, and then Johnny Harris takes a shot off the Tookus, and we have an offside. You like that one, Tookus?
Tookus.
You ever heard that one?
I have heard that before.
All right, just making sure. I know you're not as old as I am. So.
Although, I do have a fun fact for you. It's kind of random, but I learned today that a group of parrots is called a pandemonium.
Is it really?
So we could have a group of parrots in here later tonight at some point. We have pandemonium in here.
We might have a pandemonium. I doubt if we're going to have parrots on.
the metaphorical sense.
Metaphorical sense. Raiders retreat. But checked from behind is Eddie Piney. No call. As we said, refs allowing a lot of stuff to go both ways. Here's Eddie Piney, throws it back up top, finds nothing but a Spartan, and they ring it back right to left. Now Harris on that left hash, trying to get it out, unable to, and Piney's forced to retreat.
Updated it to the third period, as those of you watching on TV can see. Those of you listening on the radio, that doesn't really matter.
Here we go. There's Harris. He's got 1-on-2, trying to buy time for Denoyer to get there, but unable to. And the Spartans clear their zone. Chipped up. Harris gets enough wood on it. Well, it's all carbon fiber now, but gets enough carbon fiber on it to make sure that's not an icing, and then Harris takes a dive. And the Spartans come back up. Long shot fired high and wide. That's a heck of a breakout pass for the Raiders, but the Spartans get there first.
Approaching halfway through the period, so this is when the intensity has to ramp up if you're Hastings.
8:45 left. Centering pass, great play, better save, and good job by Denoyer to be there for the rebound. Now here comes Captain Danny Milner, number 11, not the only captain. Also Iavino as a captain, assistant captain's Johnny Tieglin. This is Milner behind the net. I know I'm missing one, and somebody's going to be mad at me. I get it, but if you hear my voice, I'm still working. Brody Carlson loses that one, and Niederkorn's going to come out. He's going to play it. Pass ahead, trying to get Tieglin. Good read by the two of them, but Tieglin doesn't get, Niederkorn doesn't get quite enough on it, and now it's chipped ahead. So the Raiders struggling to get out of their zone. Set up, pass, blocked by Tieglin. And he's smarting from that one as the puck bounces around. Tieglin now picks up the puck, 8 minutes left. Cut back inside that net. Turnover there by Charlie Williams. Now set up, not Williams, but great block by Tieglin again. That was Larson with the turnover. And here comes Vanderhoff. Tieglin with two great blocks. Vanderhoff shot. Another high misser, and he gets his own rebound. Rings it behind the net for Iavino and Harris, but that misses both of them. Comes back to the Raider zone where Eddie Piney has it. Piney with lots of ice to skate up. Hits the red, throws it. Generous no icing as Denoyer overskates the puck, has it in his feet, then battles. Puck moves left to right. Denoyer, the first Raider there. Iavino slides in, has Harris. Harris with the decoy. Iavino has it loose off his stick. Now he turns, fires with a great screen by Harris. Well, nothing comes of it. 7-10 left.
Almost a bad turnover there for Mayo.
Mayo, bottom, slides it across off of Iavino's skate. Rung in, Niederkorn again sets it up, stops it this time for Williams. Good communication. You can see the Raiders starting to stretch as Harris stayed at the far blue line. Iavino then goes in, drop pass, across, trying to find Denoyer, doesn't get there. Good tie up by number 14 for the Rochester Spartans. Now Iavino walks the front of the net, unable to get across. Good save by White. Now it's loose. There it is in front. Denoyer unable to get it. It slides out. Niederkorn's going to come out, pass it ahead. That's off the skate of Sherry. Sherry now throws it up. That's a great job there by the netminder and the defender to prevent Mayo from putting any pressure on. There are times you want to wave off an icing potentially if it prevents them from getting a change. Harris throws it to the front, misses Shanks, and now retreating is 26, Zoya Zaruba. Zaruba over, diagonal to Sherry. Sherry now cross-rinks it, but that hits a body. Careful there, Shanks, as that from behind could be trouble. Now on that low right side, wrister. Roman McNamara just misses. 26 hammers one high. We're basically hitting everything except the net. Thrown through, Zaruba now steps up. Snapper, shot, goal! Zaruba throws it on net. I don't think he's going to get the goal.
Yeah, we'll have to see, Josh, who they give credit to, but my goodness, Sawyer Zaruba looked like he just won the lottery with how excited he was with that one. Just pure, unadulterated emotion from the Hastings Raiders there.
We're going to take a look here at the replay. I'll describe it on the radio. That puck goes right to left, hops out. That puck goes maybe clean through for Zaruba. We see Shanks in front. We're going to get another angle. This is so nice. Look at, I'm spoiled here. Shanks in front.
It might have been Zagoda.
It might have been Zagoda.
Zagoda might have gotten the tip in
he
front
sure
there.
Looks like
that's who it was. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It may have been Zagoda. We'll see what they announce here.
Raiders now.
It's Zagoda getting credit for the goal.
Now the Raiders turn it over. Good block. Saved by Niederkorn. Net is off.
So Zagoda gets credit, and Zaruba gets the assist. So the Z's combine, and it's ZZ Top
and Matt Sherry
putting the Raiders
over right
to tie it at 3. It's called the ZZ Top line, maybe?
Well, they're defenders, so
they're
you
defenders.
Don't get a line.
Okay. Well,
yeah, one's a forward, one's a D. But the Raiders now have to make sure to finish this game. 5:40 left. 3-3. Raiders leading in shots on goal, 29-24. And again, the Raiders in an important section battle here. Tipped, Vanderhoff, shot. There by Larson. That one almost hopped up. Now Larson trying to cram one. It hops behind the net, and Vanderhoff gives chase. On that near wall, off of Milner's stick, he swings, turns, gets pushed down, and we're going to have a penalty. I don't know against who. It's a cross-check.
Penalty coming up in this
Looks
game.
like it's going against 27 or 21.
Rochester-Mayo, yeah, that's 21 on Rochester-Mayo. That's going into the penalty box, and a big power play coming up for Hastings here with just 5:16 to go in the game. One more look at the penalty, and yep, just Milner got hit from behind, and that can't do that. So it'll be 2 minutes in the box for Rochester-Mayo. And
that's number 21.
Number 21,
here.
Matthew Sims.
Yep. So he's gonna think about what he did here. Maybe repent a little. Zagoda on the power play now. Battling for the puck, chips it behind to Milner. Milner now spinning, whirling. He's pinned up against the boards, but the puck comes out to Zagoda. Zagoda bounce pass up to Larson. Larson now pressured, rings it to Milner in that deep corner. Milner by the Zamboni door, walks away, loses an edge, and luckily, Zagoda now is able to keep it in. Could have had a couple times. Larson walking in shot, fired high, missing the net. And Zagoda up at that near blue line, tries to hold it in, but it's kicked out past Eddie Pani. 1:27 left here in this power play for the Raiders. 4:40 left in the third period. 3-3 tie here in the opening game of this season. Vanderhoff and Piney play pitch and catch. Vanderhoff on the left-hand side loses that, just slides off his stick.
We got
and
Raiders.
That's going to be a turnover. It's a 2-on-1. 2-on-1 coming back. Raiders, Dennis, shot, save, rebound, bounces over the top. And the Raiders luckily escaped that.
Yeah, I mean, they had Hastings Raiders all over the ice. We had sticks down. We had players down. They were lucky to escape that one.
Absolutely here. 50 seconds left. Vanderhoff comes up with it after Piney's ridden down. Circling behind the net is Vanderhoff. Escapes one player, has a puck loose now. He's got Iovino on one side, on his left. Harris on the other. Now the puck tight at the point. Tieglin back to the backside. Williams, wrister, just goes off the glove, it looked like, and trails into the corner. Denoyer now, back up to Tieglin. Tieglin, wrister, hits a Mayo player in front as Iovino trying to take away the eyes of the netminder. Tieglin hit, Harris keeps it, slides it over to Denoyer, misses, high, glove side. Hey boys, you can score besides top shelf. Puck goes over Williams. Tieglin looks, throws it across the middle, just misses Harris and Denoyer.
Penalty's going to expire here.
And
we may get another
one. Nope, this is going to be on the Raiders. Denoyer's going to the box.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, now we go from a power play straight to a penalty kill. And in a 3-3 tie with 3:14 left, Rochester-Mayo will have a penalty kill until the final 74 seconds of this regulation.
Yep, Raiders trading cross-checking penalties as Denoyer on that one ends up going to the box, so he's going to sit for 2 minutes. We have a timeout here, so with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Tie game 3-3. When we return, the Raiders will be on the penalty kill.
I'm trying my best. I know I don't know a ton.
You're fine, bud.
Okay.
Don't stress.
What? Mics are on.
Have you ever been to Fleet Farm for Toyland?
I have not been to the Fleet Farm yet.
I've been to Fleet Farm, but I've never been there for Toyland.
I actually need to go buy a rubber mallet, so I've got to go to Fleet Farm and do that.
Puck now one back. Rochester setting up on a critical power play for them. Raiders needing to kill off 2 minutes here as Denoyer sits in the box on a cross check. Puck goes low to high. Number 4, Rister. Great block by the captain, senior Danny Milner. Now the Raiders settle in. Larson comes off. Iovino comes off. Rochester gets the zone. Sets up on the right-hand side. Works low to high, interchanging here. Raiders stay with it, playing a little bit more of a man as they just shadow. Rung left to right, around behind. 1:25 left. There's Eddie Piney trying to clear, but it's off his backhand. Can't. Set up on the near side. Iovino pushes out. Now to the top. Milner pushes out. Now there's to the right side. One time back and forth. Slap shot saved by Niederkorn as Milner struggling to get up.
Yeah, Raiders are pushed back deep in their own end here on this penalty kill.
Working that 1-3-1 side to side here, trying to get those shots off of that one-timer. Here comes 4 up top. Interchange. Now he's on that right hash diagonal. One-timer saved by Niederkorn.
Cody Niederkorn, other than the 3 goals, which some of them you can probably say weren't even his doing, he's been on it tonight, and you're his coach, so you can agree or disagree with me there. But
no, I mean, again, pucks are small, right?
Yeah.
Pucks bounce, pucks hit weird places. The difference between a goal and a save is, sometimes half an inch. Niederkorn there comes across as Rochester able to do what they were trying. Great job by Vanderhoff to send it the length of the ice, and Brody Larson gives chase. 42 seconds left on this critical kill to the penalty by Denoyer. 1:51 left here in this section 1. Ooh, big hit attempted, but not quite completed. Tieglin up at the point. Raiders trying to get this early section win under their belt against the Rochester-Mayo Spartans.
Yeah, and hoping that they can get it done here in regulation and not avoid another bit of free hockey. Although who wouldn't want free hockey, but you'd want to get it done in regulation.
Me, I got a lot of prep work tomorrow morning. Here comes Rochester as that one's ramped up off a Tieglin stick, and then we got some shenanigans. Boys got to be smart here.
Kerfuffle.
124, yeah, kerfuffle. I like that one. A little bit of a kerfuffle.
No, I definitely think the Hastings should get this done in regulation, but
yes.
There would be this thing won't end in a tie unless it ends in a tie in overtime.
Yeah. So what we want is a win by the Raiders. If that means we have to stick around for an extra 7 minutes, we'll do it. Face off to the right of Niederkorn. To the left for those of you on HCTV. I got to get all my call numbers down. AM 1460, FM 97.7. I'll get back to HCTV. As they set up that one-timer, great blocker again. That hit net.
And that's going to end the penalty.
It's going to end the penalty, but that should have been a whistle. Raiders now chasing back in. Denoyer joins. 5-on-5, but Mayo maintains possession. Block again by Milner. That boy's going to be bruised tomorrow. Here comes Mayo. They're setting up. Iovino overskates a little bit. Wrister just misses the net as Niederkorn's getting their rebound shot. Could have been blocked by Tieglin. Yeah, it is. If you look at him, he's limping. That's into the netting, which is important.
And Tegland is pointing at the face-off direction.
Yeah, he's hoping it's outside, but it's not going to happen. They're saying it went off a Raider stick.
Yeah, but the Raiders, they look a little bit gassed right now.
Yep.
And they need this brief stoppage to catch their breath, because that power play was fierce from Rochester-Mayo. It was just shot after shot, not necessarily all on target, but shot after shot. So they need this brief stoppage because they definitely look a little gassed right now.
Yep. Going to ride some of the horses that have been out there all day as Larson steps in. We got a conversation with linesman and the official. Larson stepping in, Milner and Vandy, the forwards out there, Piney, and that looks like Carlson on the backside. Centering save! What a play by Rochester-Mayo to try and sneak somebody in front. They did, but Niederkorn was there, and he is again. Swallows up that rebound. 35.6 seconds left. Rochester, with that, should close the gap. I think they're a little off on shots.
I think so,
but
too.
there's no official way for me to go back.
30 to 29 is what it says right now, and hold on to your seats for this last 36 seconds, folks, because this is going to be fun. Unless you're a Raider fan.
Carlson steps in. Puck goes to the corner. There's a hard hammer by Carlson. They're trying to spring Vandy, but Rochester's number 20, that was number 10, was able to get his foot in front of it.
I guess I should have said this is going to be antsy. An antsy last 36 seconds.
Antsy, a little bit twitchy.
A little bit anxious.
No doubt. It's kind of nice for me being up here doing this because I'm so busy trying to describe what's going on. I don't have to think about what my boys are doing down there on the ice. Instead, I can just be a fan in some ways. So for those of you that are tuning in that are Rochester fans, I got to be honest, I'm not unbiased. Centering pass, deflected, it's loose. Uh-oh, we got dead air.
Oh, no.
For those of you on KDWA, I'm going to keep going here. For those of you on HCTV, I'm going to keep going. Centering pass. Now tied up in the corner, 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left. Raiders just trying to make sure nothing bad happens here. As that horn blows, we end up exactly tied, 3-3 with 30 shots each in this end of regulation.
Wow.
For those on HCTV, we're going to let the commercials run a little bit on KDWA. We will be back here momentarily for bonus hockey. Luck. It's late. Rochester-Mayo Spartans to the right as the face-off is initially won by the Raiders, but then chipped back. Carlson over to Teaglin. Teaglin through the center to Vanderhoff. 8 minutes of overtime here, hoping that the Raiders end this earlier so I can get a nap before class, and more importantly, the Raiders can take a critical vote into that section seedings in 24 games from now. Now it's chipped out. That puck goes up into the stanchion. Actually, I think it might have hit Zagoda on the bench there, but pops out. And we'll get a face-off right in front of the Raiders bench in the neutral zone.
So that actually brings up a good question that I have is, if this is the first game of the season and we fast forward to February, how much are they going to remember?
Well, it literally comes down to you vote. There's going to be a bunch of things that matter besides this, but if you're close, as Vanderhoff walks in, tries to drive, if you're close, one of the arguments is, hey, we played you and we beat you. It's awful hard to argue with that. It doesn't matter when. Now the Spartans come across the line. They drop past one-timer, misses short. Now Rochester trying to tie it, trying to battle in front, ends up squirting to the blocker side of Niederkorn. Pressured by Milner. Rochester escapes.
Milner's asking to come off.
Yeah, he's been hit by a bunch, and he's been out there a bunch. Now there's Johnny Harris, first assist, first goal of his varsity career here. Has it, tries to force a pass, but that goes to Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff dumps it diagonal left to right as Iavino gives chase, and the Raiders finish their line change. Harris, Denoyer, that puck bounces over his stick. That was the attempt. Now Denoyer back checking. I talked earlier about an incredible back check he had that ended up with him taking a penalty. So 2 penalties. Oh, that bounces loose. Dangerous play. Raiders got caught sleeping there. Now a shot, save, Niederkorn rebound. 14 has it, shot. Niederkorn doesn't know where it is, but there are a pile of yellow jerseys in front, and they clear.
Excellent defense there by the Raiders. That was just a mass of humanity down there, and somehow it didn't find the back of the net, thankfully for the Raiders, and then the defense able to knock it free.
As we talked about, Raiders are going to play defensive hockey this year. Winning these close games is what they're going to have to do. Now the Spartans gain the zone before Iavino overskates, save, blockered. Good rebound control, bounces. And then number 20 for the Spartans, looking for his 3rd goal to hat trick, does not get it. Backdoor pass, hops over the stick of Rochester's number 14 before ending up back at their point. Raiders chasing a little bit diagonal. Now there pushes out Johnny Harris. Behind the net, there's Sherry. Nope. Zaruba. I keep mixing up Sherry and Zaruba. That's on me. Puck goes across. Denoyer tries to get in the lane, slides, unable to get there. But Mayo able to keep possession. Almost said it again. 5:30 left here in this overtime. 3-3 this score in regulation. Rochester able to pin the Raiders in. Iavino throws it, trying to get a change. They're not going to be able to. Harris wanted to come off. That hits Piney. No offsides. You can see the dead legs of some of the Raiders. There's Zaruba battling. Gets position. Layering that defense is Iavino. Now it's up. Harris in the lane. They drop it back down. Shot fired. Hit the net. Good. That's critical that that puck went up into the mesh so that the Raiders can get some fresh guys out. Here we see Williams, Milner, Larson, Vanderhoff, and Cody Carlson. Sorry, Brody Carlson, not Cody. Brody Carlson.
By the way, I know we're in overtime here, but the Wild beat the Oilers tonight 5-3. So.
Shot, rebound. Good save by Niederkorn. Williams rings it around. Back up. Vanderhoff trying to chip it out. Unable to. That was a hand pass that went uncalled. And the Spartans keep it in. Puck bounces. Shot. Misses the net. Niederkorn there sliding for the backdoor potential. Now it's back up. There's Dennis. Ethan Dennis shot. Saved by Niederkorn as that was trying to find its way through. Thrown into the middle. That finds a stick. Hastings unable to really generate anything this overtime as Niederkorn battling loose puck.
That was dangerous, and now we've got a skirmish. They're going after each other. That looked like
that's Roman
McNamara.
Roman McNamara, thank you. And some pushing, some shoving, things like that.
And
no, that wasn't McNamara.
That was Larson.
That was Larson.
It was 16. One of those. Let's see. It was 6. It's both of them. It was McNamara and Larson going after.
Not McNamara. That's Williams.
Oh.
Williams is 18.
Williams. Okay.
Yeah. That 16 got tucked up. So
okay, so I got 18 and 10 confused. You're getting 23 and 26 confused.
I'm almost 50, man.
It's the first game of the year.
Stepping into the faceoff, Zagota loses it back to the point, pressured by Vanderhoff. Short side bounce pass. The Raiders trying to get out of their zone with possession for the first time in this overtime, as we're already basically halfway through. There's Zagota, chips it, gets control, battles it down, loses control almost immediately, and now the turnover by the Spartans. Shot! Oh, almost a shot. Great centering pass by Zagota, and Vanderhoff unable to do it. Raiders trying to back check. Piney pushes it wide. Poke check. That by Niederkorn. Now the puck bounces off of him into the corner. Teaglin ridden off the puck. Bounced up. D to D, right to left. Shot, deflected. And luckily Teaglin gets a hold of it. The Raiders have got to not turn it over like that. Shot, oh, good effort, gutsy effort there by Zagota. As you can see, the Raiders are just out of gas. Lots of bodies in front, lots of traffic. Great play, trying to put it to the back and deflect it.
Niederkorn basically says, "Get off me!" to the I almost did it too. To the Mayo guy.
To the Mayo guy. Niederkorn, a little bit of who he is. You can see the Raiders just dying here. Maybe some conditioning in the works for tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like Mayo has. You bring up that girls' game the other day, Eastridge and Hastings. It kind of looks like Mayo kind of has a little bit of a speed advantage right now. And I don't know if it was the case before the game, but right now you can just tell that Mayo has.
They got a little bit more in the tank right
now.
And they played 3 games, so they're going to be in game shape. But no matter how you practice, you got to get ready for it. Now there's a loose Mayo player in front, now tied up by Brody Carlson. Carlson giving chase as it rings behind the net. 3:08 left in overtime. Deep down, trying to cycle for it. Chipped off, shot, saved by Niederkorn. Another save by Niederkorn. Flies up top. One-timer, misses the net. Flies over. And Mayo sets up in that bottom quarter. Carlson giving chase. Iavino layering support. Now it goes up. Right, D to D. And they cycle it down. At this point, Mayo just maintaining possession. Harris pushing out, trying to get in the lane. That's in a dangerous spot. Shot, goal, no goal! Holy cannoli! That looked like it was in.
Yep.
High stick. Oh, I never heard a ping, but I am wearing headphones.
If there was instant replay
Hold on, what do you mean if there was?
Oh, no, I'm saying if they had instant replay.
Hold on.
We'll get to see it here on the TV side.
Puck goes up high. They go right side, D to D. In the slot, shot.
Oh,
no goal.
That was off the post. So Hastings caught a huge break there. But this is also a big break because they're down now on the other side. Hastings has been outshot 9-0 in this overtime. So they need everything they can get in terms of being down on the Rochester-Mayo side. One more look at it for you TV viewers listening on the radio. It just dings off the far post.
Yeah.
Oh, it hit both posts.
Shot. Nope, did not hit both posts. Clear shot from the slot, hits the inside of the post, goes behind Niederkorn. Niederkorn swinging behind his body, lost his stick on that. It hops over a waiting Mayo player. They thought it was in, they were wrong. But to your point, you're right. The Raiders now on a timeout for those of you listening on the radio. Shots on goal were 30-30 at the end of regulation. Shots on goal now, 39-0. Or 39. That would be bad.
Take 30 shots away.
39-30, so 9-0 in this overtime here for shots on goal. Raiders, as you mentioned, critical high stick. After that puck goes off the inside of the post, now Rochester-Mayo has a high stick. Puck goes all the way down now for a face-off. 2:33 left here. Raiders looking to get their legs and generate some offense.
And I don't know what you guys would do, but if I was Coach Klein, I would draw up what I call the LA Kings special, where you win the face-off and you immediately do a slap shot and try to get it in the back of the net and win it.
I skip slap shots. Here it goes back.
One-timer, fine.
Uh-oh, here we go. Teaglin has it misplayed. 27, 2-on-1, comes in. Shot, misses short side. Chipped ahead. Now we're battling the neutral zone. Teaglin ends up ahead of the play, interestingly enough, and waits for everyone to clear. The goaltender, White, behind the net, tries in front. It's loose. That's Milner, who ends up sliding as the Raiders had a chance to generate something, but ends up no shot generated.
Hastings has it behind the net here.
Okay, there we go.
Sends it back toward the near side.
Now picking a puck. There's Dennis. He has a chance, loses the puck, tied up in front by Piney. Here it goes up over the top, back down, left-hand side, bottom corner. Dennis in that right corner. Shot, one-time save by Niederkorn. Point blank shot from low to high off the one-time. Mayo swings it. It's deflected. It's in the feet. 1:27 left. Raiders throw it out. And Mayo regroups, but that keeps the Raiders in the zone. Thrown in. Bouncing puck. Niederkorn handles. And the Raiders now are going to ice it.
Yeah.
With 1:15 left.
They just need to get one shot right now. They haven't had a single one on target in this overtime so far, and they've almost spent the entire 8 minutes in their zone, it feels like.
They have.
So I mean, Rochester-Mayo has pretty much controlled every facet and every second of this overtime, and you mentioned it, and you know you're a coach, so you're okay to say it. They're tired.
Yeah, they're gassed. In this 8 minutes of overtime, 7 minutes have expired. Raiders are going to ice it again. We're at 1:05 left here in overtime. Shots on goal in overtime, 11-0. The only time the Raiders have been in the Mayo zone that it wasn't offsides was off of that high stick. So you start off tired, and then you get pinned in your zone, and this is like a second period where the change is long. Mayo's been able to keep possession, so now you have guys out there for 2-minute shifts, 2.5-minute shifts at the end of the game. Larson steps in, trying to win that set play, thrown to the front, rung around behind the net. Big hit put on. That's by Brody Carlson. Now coming out clean is Larson. Larson, Vanderhoff driving the net, has Zagoda in front, but unable to get control of that puck as it's knocked away. Now low to high, one-time shot, blocked by a Spartan. And then they come the other way, 40 seconds left. 2-on-3, Spartans enter the zone and ends up on Brody Carlson's stick. Carlson doesn't put enough on it to get it out, and it just dies inside the zone. That's critical. Chipped. Larson gets a stick on it enough, but now Carlson in front. See, that's what makes it hard. Carlson and Larson, 16 and 18. Carlson is offsides. Bouncing puck.
He's not happy about it either.
No, he's got Vanderhoff with him. If he drags his left foot across that blue line, it's a 2-on-1 with Vanderhoff on his forehand streaking to the net with 20.1 seconds left. Reality is here at this point, the Raiders, you're gonna take a tie if they can finish out this 22nd by the way that Rochester has dominated this overtime.
Yeah, I think taking a tie would be
puck slides up top. Block by Iavino. Another captain for the Raiders. We've seen two of the captains, actually, the two guys with C's, Iavino and Milner, both forwards, getting hammered by pucks. Chipped ahead, one last chance, 5 seconds to Neuer. Drag, shots, rebound, comes up, and Iavino, it just bounces a little too far to the side. And the Raiders, that was their only shot in that 8 minutes. Great job of gutting that out. Great performance defending. We talked about back checks. We talked about forechecks. They didn't get the chances they wanted in overtime, but the reality is they did what they needed to help out their goaltender and get a critical tie here in a section game in your first puck drop of the year.
Yeah, I mean, they're better to be out of here with a tie than a loss for sure. Obviously, in many ways, as we take a look back at the goal by Zagoda there to make it a 3-3 tie, which then forced overtime, and credit where credit is due to the Hastings defense, and especially to your student, I will call him, Cody Niederkorn. I mean, Hastings faced 11 shots in that overtime. He stopped all 11. The defense was pinned against the wall there essentially the entire overtime. And just shout out to Cody Niederkorn. What a performance tonight, especially in that overtime, to keep this game tied. It's not going to count as a win, but it's not going to count as a loss.
Absolutely.
And that's also really important.
So now you ask the question about what does this look like as we thank the people that helped us out tonight doing double duty. Producer, director Hunter Pinky, myself, Josh Colvin, and Trey Lauer announcing. I love this co-op we got going here for these games. Camera operators, Ian Andrzejek, Will Celine, and Max Slocum, all former students of mine. And look at Hunter there. Puts himself on twice. Really? You get graphics. You got like 4 titles. 4 titles. He gives himself producer, director, graphics, and replay. Like, I'm up here, I got no voice left. Jeez. No, but thank you so much to HCTV. Love the partnership we got going between them and KDWA to give you fans the most opportunity to watch this. So going back to that conversation about, the section seatings. So
well, we're going to sign off on HCTV here first.
Got it.
So for those watching on HCTV, thank you so much. And we'll see you for their next broadcast. And for those listening on KDWA, we'll be right back with some more post-game coverage. So hop on over to KDWA Radio for that.